Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB. Excited you're with me this November 4, 2024. It is a Monday, episode 5505, and I am excited you're here. We've got a great week planned. We are in the due month, so we're getting through the end of the year, completing those tasks, working on those final goals, and getting focused on what we're going to do next. That's kind of, the big picture of what we're doing. As always, start with your metaphysical morning ritual. Make sure you're doing some self-care. Make sure you're showing up and listening to Coach Cast. You did that this morning. Congratulations. And get those 7 Ps working for you. Have the right perspective. I'm getting ready to run a marathon coming up this weekend, and it's my first marathon. I've never run this distance, and I'll be honest, I'm a little scared. I'll be the first one to tell you that, but I'm excited. I'm scared and excited because I put a big goal. I put a big goal up there to be able to reach the Boston Marathon. And in that, I'm just planning to have fun. I just have the right perspective. I'm just happy that at 55, I have the ability to run and I can do this, right? So that perspective is so critical. And even though we have big goals, we still want to have the right perspective that we have the ability to do things. We can make changes, and we can live a life, and we can fix relationships, and we can fix businesses, and we can make more money. Life is there for us, but you got to have that right perspective, okay? Then we got to set those priorities, and that's what we're going to work on big time in December as I start putting this new project together, which is this planner and also the planning workbook course that I'm building so that you really understand these are the priorities. I want you to be so clear next year that you just start checking boxes. And when we check, it's okay, we might need to make some changes, but we're clear in what everything is happening within the system. So pumped. So that's priorities. Then we want to focus on improved performance, whether it's running a marathon, which is, I never thought I would even be talking about that, or I never said I would do more than a 5K. Remember? Those of you listen to me. But really working on getting better in the things that you do. Have patience. Just allow things to happen. Keep great posture. Stay present in the moment and persist. Okay? Those are our 7 Ps. And then we want to organize the planner, which for those of you that are up in the beta area testing, if you get in the community, you could see the 2025 and how evolved it's become. We're still making some changes to it, but the 2025 planner is just out of this world. It's awesome. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And again, you can go up in the community and give feedback for that. But right now, use your 2024. And then for those of you using the companion, take a picture, send it in. And of course, stop by the community once in a while for accountability questions and support, or to come by to a meetup. We've got Tuesday with Karen, which is great. If you just want to swing by, just check up the meetup area for times. Des has been doing a really great one for Europe. If you just want to stop by and say hello, it would be great to have you. We're still working on the hosting issue with the computers because it doesn't send out a notification. So just make sure you're on the calendar and you look when you want to come to a meetup with wonderful people that are doing this. They're taking the time and putting the energy in it. So it's great if you could come support them and learn some things. It's great. A couple things that we got going on. Obviously, this month is a big month, and our topics are going to be based on gratitude, leadership, accountability, direction, discipline, and coaching. So we got a great month plan for you. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we need to stay positive in this election cycle. It's really important. We're going to talk about that Thursday, but it's important that you don't get so emotionally attached to the political process that it throws you off your dreams. And I see that happen with a lot of people. I get it. You have issues that you're passionate about. But in the big picture of things, true moving the needle, true influence comes from you being a leader. We're going to talk about that today. And then when you lead, you have the ability to make big changes. I see a lot of people out there that are trying to push an agenda on both sides, right? And they're like, this is what we got to do. But nobody's following them. And they're just speaking to people that are just listening to them. They're getting a dopamine hit because it's they're just talking to people that agree with them. And they're actually making it worse because they're truly not influencing people. Other people on the other side of the aisle are going, well, I'm just going to just root in. You're just not doing this tactically. And so leadership is about tactics and influence and understanding the deeper picture of things and actually evolving consciously so you don't get caught up in this quagmire of political mess, right? Go vote. make your voice if that's what you want to do. But I'm sure you have dreams, and I'm sure you can manifest a different life. And that's where it gets a little tricky, right? So maybe you are part of the problem instead of part of the solution. What are you putting out there? And so you got to check yourself, okay? Especially in this time, I know there's going to be a lot of emotion and a lot of energy, and you just got to be careful what it does to you, right? And that's a very important part. That is emotional intelligence at the highest level. That's being aware of what is going on with me. Why am I thinking the way I'm thinking? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And a lot of times the virtue signaling that comes from that, we got to really peel that back and go, why am I doing this? Because it makes me feel good because I'm pushing this agenda. I think that I'm making a big contribution. But are you? That's the question. Are you really making a contribution, or are you actually making things worse? And I see a lot of people making things worse because they're not truly being leaders. And we're going to talk about that this week, and I want to help you be that leader, because today's topic is speed of the leader determines the rate of the pack. How do you really create influence? How do we really make a difference out there? We're going to talk about that. Then we got a book study. Love this one. Tomorrow we're going to get into Stop Overthinking. 23 techniques to relieve stress, stop negative spirals, declutter your mind, and focus on the present by Nick Trenton. And I like this because I want to go through some techniques to stop rumination. Anybody with a high IQ, which everybody here has, you ruminate. You get something in your mind, you can't get off the hamster wheel. We're going to talk about that this month with this book study. Okay. And again, a lot of us, some of us that are really close to the spectrum, right, where you get this really focus, laser focus. That's why I'm cautioning you to be very cautious of what's coming in this week, because you can just get this laser focus where you can't get off the hamster wheel, and it's not serving you. I'm going to tell you, it's not serving you. So be real careful with that. Okay. Wednesday, we're going to talk about leadership and energy. You win some, you lose some. Big one. Thursday, we're going to talk about emotionally attached to outcomes like elections. This is going to be a good one because, Tuesday is election day in the United States. I don't know, we're worldwide. But Wednesday, you're going to see a lot of people that, in racing like the marathon, you could see people lose the race at mile 15 because they started off too fast. You can see people lose the race at the beginning of the race. Why? Because they run out really fast. That's what most people do. I'm going to do my best Saturday to keep at my pace and not get out too fast. In fact, you want to slow down. You want a negative split. That's really the key, my coach. It's like, hey, let's just get out slow and steady. Let's not lose the race, right? Let's not lose the race at the beginning. Let's feel good at mile 16, 17, 18, and then 20, that's when the race begins. Same thing with this emotional energy that's being spent in these election cycles. I'll see people on Wednesday that literally they're collapsing. Like they're losing their ability to build. They're losing their ability to influence because they've gotten so emotionally attached to outcomes. So we're going to talk about that Thursday. But again, it's a big cautionary tale for you. It's going to be everywhere. Again, I don't care who wins or loses. It's going to be everywhere. And so you're going to have to be ready to handle and deal with the emotional consequences of that. And how are you going to handle that? And again, are you going to lose? Right at the beginning, like you're going to lose on November 6th is when you're already getting apathetic and you've kind of raised a white flag because things didn't go your way and you're acting like a spoiled child, right? Which a lot of people do. I will see that. It'll be everywhere. And I just shake my head. It's not true influence. It's not true intelligence. It's not true consciousness. And I want you to not have that happen. And believe me, it's easy to have it happen, because of whatever sources, whatever information is coming into your brain. And typically, cognitive dissonance and the algorithms are going to force whatever your particular thinking style is. That's the world we live in. So you're going to get hammered with all that cognitive dissonance. And the way you react to that is going to be really important. So we'll talk about that Thursday, but just recognize that tomorrow you could be having some issues, and Wednesday you could literally screw up your 2025. You literally could. It's like starting the race way too fast, and I don't want that to happen. Friday, we're going to talk about preparing for the marathon. What am I doing? Because Saturday, I'm running. And I'll do a special coach cast at sometime Saturday or Sunday, depending, to let you know how the race went. Big goal. Speed of the leader, right? So I'm putting out there that I'm working to become Boston qualified. Just to put this in perspective, the males age 55 to 60, there are only 1,500 in the world that get to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Now, I just want to put this in perspective. I started running in April, like late March, April, like seriously, right? And I wasn't even that serious. July is when I really got serious. For that to happen, it puts me in a different status, right? So it's scary. Like I have to run sub 8 minute miles for 26.2 miles and do a distance I've never done. So speed of the leader, I'm putting it out there. I'm trusting my training. I'm trusting my coaching. I'm trusting the planning. I'm trusting everything. But to be elite, and if I fail, I fail, right? Just to put that out there, right? Perspective. I'm going to enjoy it. Plan A is to kick butt. Plan A is to run 740s and just go out there and destroy it. Plan B is to get through it at 8 minute miles and qualify. Plan C is finish the race. And as a leader, that's what you do. Like you have your plans and whatever happens, happens. You can only prepare and train so much, but you got to have big goals. You got to go after it. And that's where I see a lot of people fall down. And again, election cycle. A lot of people are distracted. They're not having big goals. They're more worried about the political environment. And it bothers me. It really does, because it's like, come on, wake up. There's so many other things we can do. That's where true influence comes from, not the election environment. And by the way, presidential elections in the United States, it's more than the presidential elections. There's a House, there's Congress, there's so much going on, but there's so much deception and distraction. I just see people all over the place. And again, if you're a metaphysician like me, what are you really manifesting? You need to look in the mirror, right? And say, hey, what am I bringing into this world? And that's a really scary one sometimes. You got to really look at that. And so again, this whole idea of leadership is so critical. And the idea of leadership is just lead by example. As Sir taught me all those years ago, sometimes teacher, always student. And if you're humble and you go out there and you live your life, it's amazing how successful you can become. And success is a loaded term, meaning it involves everything, spiritually, happiness, joy, all those things. Now, I get frustrated. I do. I'll be the first person to raise my hand. You know, nothing hurts me more than when somebody leaves. You know, it just bothers me. It's like, gosh, how do we let them down? But overall, the energy that I have at 55 years old is unbelievable. The joy that I have in my heart, that I have the ability to do this with you. And I put my stuff out there so that people get the energy and people do it. And yes, I'm attacked. I'm attacked every day by people that don't like that. They don't want to work. They don't want to put their energy in. They don't want to plan, right? So they don't like to see somebody else working hard and working to be successful. And that's why Morning Coach, I'm so selective, because I get it. Like, we're not all going to succeed. We're not all going to have the best lives. But one of the things we're going to do is give you the plan that works and lead by example. And I'm leading by example. If I could be one of the 1,500 men between 55 and 6 years old to qualify, well, there's a few more that qualify. So let's say there's 2,000 out of all the runners in the world that are 55 to 60. It's a huge accomplishment. And how did I do it? Well, I'm focused on the excitement. I'm getting the plan in place, and I'm working on it every day. It's not complicated. You know, I like Huberman, as many of us you do, you know, and he was talking the other day about how if you lift weights, right? If you lift weight 3 times a week, you don't have to get crazy. If you run a few times a week and you eat right, you're going to be healthier than 90% of the population. How scary is that? If you lift weights a couple times a week, if you get out and move and you know, get yourself moving a little bit and eat right, you're going to be healthier than 90% of the people. I just think, wow, are we really that much of an alien? Are you that much of an alien? Am I that much of an alien? It's crazy how the world is. But I want to get you ready for an amazing 2025, right? The world could be nuts. But if you understand what I'm teaching you, and even going metaphysically, you can create beauty. We have the ability. You can create amazing things. You can change so many things in your life. But you know what it's about? Number one. What is that? What is number one? Perspective. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. People are so worried about the election cycle and so worried about this. I'll tell you where you want to worry. Come down to Colombia with me, and I'll take you to the south part of Bogota, to Ciudad de Bolivia, where the people there have no opportunity. Zero. They can't even get out. The police don't even go in there. It's amazing to me, if you haven't traveled, right, how you get caught up in things that are the minors instead of the majors. I want you to start focusing on the majors so that you can have the right perspective and you can live this amazing life and you can achieve and have goals. Look, even if I don't qualify Saturday for the Boston Marathon, and I just finished, that's goal C. Huge accomplishment. Less than 1% of the population runs a marathon. Do you know how great that is for when I die? When I die and I look back and I go, you know what? When I was 55, I decided to run a marathon. I didn't qualify for Boston, but I gave it my best damn shot. I'm going to be excited to think about the things that I've done on my deathbed. I know that's deep, but you got to think about great things. What is your legacy? What are you going to leave? What are the footprints in the sand that you're going to do? Can you suck it up today and say, I want to do these things, and start to focus on some really cool stuff that you can do, that you can leave that legacy? That's what I want to help you do. I want you to have that same feeling that I have right now as I'm sitting here, scared to death. Scared. I'm literally scared. I don't even know what to think about. I'm going to my aunt's house and I'm trying to plan. We'll talk about it Friday. And the excitement and the energy, and I don't know if I can make it 26 miles. But damn it, it's awesome to be scared. It's awesome to push. It's awesome to go out and live a life that's great, to do things that other people aren't doing. And look, I just said, if you go lift some weights and I'm talking health-wise, if you go lift some weights and you move a little bit and you eat right, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the population. I'm telling you, it's not hard to win anymore. People are so caught up in their own worlds that they're not breaking away and planning and organizing and then executing on a dream life. We can do it, but it's up to you. I can only lead the horse to water. I can't do the activities for you. I can't run the marathon for you, just as you can't run the marathon for me. I would love it if you could. You're an elite runner. Come run this marathon for me. But you can't, okay? You can't. So you got to find the things that are going to drive you, that are going to make a difference in your life, that when you're on your deathbed, you look back and go, that's what I did. That's what I accomplished. Those are the things that I attempted. And even if you don't succeed, who cares? You're doing it, going after it. And I can tell you what, my life is already better by setting this goal, doing the Morning Coach plan, and going to execute. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if I don't finish. I will. I don't care if I have to crawl on my belly. But it doesn't matter, because what the journey is what is so important. The journey, who I'm becoming, and you guys in the metaphysical group, I always talk about this. I'm a changed man. I'm a changed being because of the goals and the structure of things that I've done. And that's what I want you to do, because for your family, your community, believe me, you don't think the community's better where I'm here? We're changing lives. And I want you to do the same. And you don't have to get out there and be an extrovert or anything. It's just about living it, having fun, hitting goals, and pressing on. That's it. Just take it day by day. Okay? On my soapbox today, but I love you. I'm just getting you prepared for the negative energy that's going to come out the next week, right? Let's get ready for that, and let's focus on our dreams. Let's focus on the things that are going to make a difference in our lives. Let's focus on the things that when you're on your deathbed, you can go, I did it. I have no regrets. I gave it everything I got. Okay? I love you. Get out there. Have a great one. And I'll be back tomorrow right here as we start our book study on morningcoach.com. Go live your life.